Hello everyone, it's your girl Asia from the Roman Reigns Fango channel. You already know what's up. I'm so excited to make this video because I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. I'm here today to talk about my irritation with Degrassi for not doing important storylines when we reach the season 10 through season 14 era. So we gotta talk about it. Excuse me. So y'all already know when y'all watch Degrassi, the OG era with Emma, Manny, Marco, Spinner, Paige, Craig, Ellie. Y'all already know we always got important storylines. They gave us storylines that at the time they didn't talk about when it comes to teenagers. Like when it came to teenagers at the time, they didn't talk about mental health. Like mental health at that time wasn't a big thing. Mental health is now so important now than what it was back then, that when they gave like Craig those bipolar episodes back then that shit didn't matter. So I really like that they did I like that they did mental health, eating disorders, self-harm, hate crimes with homophobia. Like Degrassi did every storyline you could think of that people do not think teenagers go through in high school. In the OG era, they capitalized that so perfectly. Like school shooting, domestic violence. Oh my god, they had so many good storylines in the OG era. Now I'm not saying in season 10 through season 14 they didn't have some good storylines, but I feel like I just feel like everything in those seasons was really the only drama you can get was with relationships. And I feel like in Degrassi in the OG era with Emma and Manny, it wasn't just relationship drama you got so the seasons could be messy or to be interesting. It wasn't just relationship drama we got. It wasn't. It was storylines too with specific characters. Like Craig having a bipolar disorder had nothing to do with his relationship with Ashley. It had to do with his abuse and have to deal with the chemical imbalance in his brain. Like at this point, as we reach season 10 through season 14, it's like the only drama you really got was when it came to relationships, and I hated that. So when you watched other episodes that had nothing to do with drama, it's like, damn, do we only get drama when it comes to relationships? Because why the fuck are y'all not doing individually like character storylines? Like what the fuck happened to that? Like that literally stopped after, I really want to say after season 7, for real, because season 8 and 9 I literally don't remember shit. I don't remember anything. Like for real, when I be watching my YouTubers who talk about season 8 and 9, I'm literally lost as fuck. The only storylines I remember from season 8 or 9 is the Allie and Johnny shit. If it ain't that, I don't remember it. I don't remember it. Them seasons are like a they like fog. Like I just don't remember them. And season 10 through season 14 is when I really like. Those was the seasons I didn't watch. So those was the seasons I rewatched before I rewatched the entire series. And I feel like y'all overrate the fuck out of season 10 for real, for real. For everyone who's like, oh, it was the season that really brought back Degrassi to its roots and yada 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 and da 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 da. Season 10 is okay. Back when I rewatched it, it was okay. When I first rewatched it, yes, I was like you fans. I put it on the pedestal like ooh ooh ah ah ooh ooh. It was okay. The season is literally okay. That entire season has nothing but part 1 or part 2 episodes. For what? Half of those part 1 or part 2 episodes wasn't filled with no drama, and they were part 1 and part 2. Every episode of season 10 had a part 1 or part 2 episodes. Literally. I watched some of them today, and it's like, why the fuck did these have a part 1 or part 2? You literally could put all of this in one fucking episode. There is no need to have all of this in 2 episodes. It is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like, y'all put season 10 on a pedestal when honestly, season 10 has one of the most boring fucking premieres. One of the most boring premieres. Like, when I rewatched it So fucking boring. Like, if y'all really want to be 100, season 10 to me really don't get interesting up until we find out Jenna is pregnant. And when Drew cheated on Allie because he got a blowjob from Bianca in the boiler room. For real, like, those were the episodes that really, like, gave spice. And then you got the Eli and Claire shit in this season. Eli going crazy. You know, he not really. I think he had PTSD, like dealing with the girl, like dealing with the fact that his girlfriend died and him not dealing with it, making him go crazy and being possessive and shit over Claire, like shooting his girlfriend picture and then crashing his car into the wall. Like, them the only things I really can remember from that season that was like drama wise. But like I just said, half of that shit had to do with relationships. It wasn't individual character shit. Like, not really. Fiona got so much screen time this season, and she is one of the most boring fucking characters in Degrassi. I literally don't understand why the fuck she was here for so long. Like, what season did this girl come in? She didn't graduate until season 12. What the fuck? What grade was she in? How old was she? Because I tell you what, she damn sure didn't like a fucking teenager when we was in season 12. She's like a grown-ass woman. So I was just confused, like, mm-mm. I just feel like y'all put season 10 on a pedestal, like, for real, for real. Like, that season is okay. Like, that season didn't really do any important storylines. So, I really blame season 10 for, I mean, the long episode thing, yeah, I could see why some fans don't like when they do the long episodes. I definitely understand because I'm here to tell y'all right now, back when I first rewatched Degrassi, I literally watched every episode. Now when I rewatch it, I don't watch every episode. If you weren't a cast member who gave me drama or mess, I don't give a fuck what your character doing in this episode. I literally don't. I literally don't give a shit. I literally don't give a shit. If you are not important to this season, I don't watch your episode. Simple as that. Period. So, yes, when I go back and watch season 10, a lot of those episodes I fucking skip because the plot A and plot B storylines are both equally fucking boring. Equally. Straight the fuck up. Equally boring. Like, it's like the only drama you got in these other seasons was with relationships. Like, literally in season 10, I swear to God, this is gonna be the last thing this is the last thing I'm gonna say about the season. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna get on with the other seasons. With season 10 specifically, the only drama you really got was relationships. And I think other than that, I think the only episode I could think of that didn't have anything to do with a relationship, but it was an individual character study that had drama was Adam's part 1 and part 2, My Body is a Cage. Other than that, every other episode had something to do with a couple doing this, a couple doing that. No shade and literally no shit. Straight up. Dave and Allie's relationship, I mean, not Dave. Drew and Allie's relationship was nothing but drama. You got that in season 10. Then you got the Drew and Bianca relationship. That had drama. You had the Jenna and KC's relationship. That had drama. You had the Claire and Eli relationship. That had drama. All those relationships were the only thing that got drama brought to the table. What the fuck happened to those individual character studies to get to know your characters? What happened to those storylines that teenagers can't connect with? What the fuck do I connect with in season 10? What do I connect with? I don't care for Fiona, so therefore I didn't care about her alcoholic storyline. You could have gave that storyline to a character I could have grew to care about. Since she was here for so long and I never gave a fuck about her to begin with, when they did that with her, I didn't give a shit. I did not care. I didn't care. I didn't care. And yes, she did have a domestic violence storyline, but like I just said, since she was always boring to me, I didn't give a shit. I just didn't care. I didn't care about her alcoholic storyline, her domestic storyline. I didn't care about her coming out as a lesbian. I didn't give a fuck about any of that. Period. Oh, and I totally forgot. The fucking Sav, Holly J, and Declan was also another thing you get for drama-wise in this season. See what the fuck I'm talking about? Where are the storylines you can connect with? All this shit is just relationship drama. What the fuck happened to those storylines that really hit hard on your heartstrings? They didn't have any of that in season 11. This season doesn't really have a lot of individual storylines for you to get drama. Just like season 10, it is all relationship based. The only drama you get is from relationships. Allie and Dave. Hold on, I'm trying to think. Who else was in a relationship in that season? Oh yes, the only drama you really got in season 10 was the Ellie and Dave shit with him cheating on her or whatnot, and the girl that he cheated on Ellie with, came back and she got hit by a car. I liked that, but then again, it had something to do with a relationship. It had nothing to do with an individual character. You had Eli being so obsessed with Claire yet again. That took over literally the first half of the season. Like, it literally dragged the season with this nigga being so obsessed with her. Excuse me, y'all. It literally dragged the fucking season. Eli being obsessed with her. That literally was the entire storyline in the first half. Like, what the hell? That was that, and the Casey and Jenna storylines are the only ones I really can remember from the first half of season 11. Nothing else really happened in the season. Oh no, I'm capping. You had the whole gang shit in this season with Drew. His PTSD. That was like the only thing I could think that was like an individual character study. His PTSD. And Bianca selling drugs. She stole money for Imogen. Like, I mean, yeah, that shit was okay. Some of them storylines I did like. I did like the Casey and Jenna shit. That was really good. By far, that was the highlight of that season. They really acted their asses off, and I really liked their storyline. I liked the whole gang violence thing with Drew and Bianca, her selling drugs, stealing Imogen's money, so she could show Vince that she did sell some weed. I liked the Drew's PTSD storyline, him learning how to fight back. I didn't give a fuck about him and Katie's relationship. Katie started doing Oxy, but then again, I don't give a fuck about her character. They don't tell you anything about Katie other than she's just perfect. She likes to do this. She likes to do that. Blah, 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 blah. She literally has no character development, so therefore when she was doing Oxy, I didn't give a fuck. Like, she wasn't even the main star in that storyline. It had all to do to get Bianca and Drew back together, which I was definitely here for because they are one of my favorite fucking ships. I'm all for it for them to be a couple again. But yet again, in this season, the only drama you got was yet again with relationships. In this season, we also get that Eli is diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and at the end, they want to put him and Claire back together. Like, and Imogen and Fiona became a couple in this season. I just don't understand. And Jake and Claire were a relationship in this season. This whole step sibling bullshit. That felt like that did not need to be in the Degrassi universe. That don't even seem, at this point, this is how you knew they was getting desperate and just writing anything. Never ever would I feel like Degrassi would have ever wrote some step sibling bullshit. It's regardless of what people say, oh, they're not blood. It's still gross because in the day you are family. Period. They couldn't just put Claire with a random guy at Degrassi and then he could just go into the black hole and never be seen again. She had to be with Jake. I just don't understand. That never made sense to me. Allie does nothing this season. She's just with Dave. We do get introduced to Maya and Zig and Tori, I think her name is, and Tristan, but they don't really do much in this season. Adam gets nothing. Adam really, I just want to, let me talk about Adam real quick, because I was going to do an individual character thing with him, and I just might, but let me get out just a few things about Adam. Adam was literally he deserved so much better. Adam was literally one of my favorite characters in Degrassi. Even though he didn't get much, he deserved so much better. He deserved better. What they did to Adam with him being a first transgender character, this nigga didn't get a storyline up until season 2 when he got his first love interest. And I actually liked that storyline. Adam didn't have any storylines, and it just seemed like all his storylines were like redundant. Like the same storyline they did in season 11 with Dave not wanting him on a radio show because he was trans. It's given what they did in season 10 with Bianca basically getting her niggas to jump Adam because he was a trans. It's like we already seen this. Like we seen this already. Why are you rewriting this? We've already seen this. Adam was a supportive character. I get it. Drew was more interesting because when he first came on the scene, like I said, they wrote him like a villain with him dangling Riley's, I think that's his name, sexuality over his head from being captain. But I feel like, I always feel like when you do a sibling, like you have two siblings in school, one is not going to get anything and the other is going to get all the storylines. And I definitely feel like Adam was like in Drew's shadow because Drew did have more character development. He had more storylines. He had more depth. But I feel like they could have did so much more with Adam. So much more. Like, literally since the moment he became on screen, he was used as a fucking supportive character. He did nothing. He had a rivalry with Fitz, but it was more Eli's rivalry with Fitz than it was his rivalry. And then he was fooling around with Fiona, but Fiona only liked him because he still had all his female parts. Like, he didn't really get the body surgery yet. You know, he still had boobs and, you know, he still had all of that. So that's why, like, all of that is just, I really like that his part 1 and part 2 body is a cage. And then in season 11, he don't do shit. He's just Eli and Claire's friend, and he's on a radio show. He don't do shit. He literally didn't do anything up until season 12. That is crazy. What was the point of him? What was the point of him being on the cast? Like, he was literally getting a check for not to do anything? That's just stupid to me. Adam deserved better. He deserves so much better. Which is so crazy to me when I watch the dude rank the characters. I have no idea why he put Adam in S tier. Adam didn't really have anything to be in S tier. Like, S tier should be for iconic characters who had iconic storylines, iconic character development. I feel like Adam was like in the background so much that when he finally did get his time to shine, Adam is just one of those characters who deserves so much better. He just is. And yet again in season 11, all drama is based on relationships. All of it. You had some storylines that were like, okay, but some that still again they are based on relationships. Season 12 to me, everyone like to say it was season 10 that was the turnaround season for Degrassi. I fucking disagree with that. And I'm actually going to make a video on why I think season 12 and 13 were the turnaround seasons for Degrassi. Season 12 to me was a turnaround season for Degrassi because this season, like I said in my video, this season knew who their characters were, their storylines, the drama they're about to give you. There is not... Hold on. And I could be capping. There might be a few episodes in this season I didn't watch. Like, I didn't care about Imogen. So, when they gave her storylines about her dad having dementia, I didn't give a shit. Because I didn't care for Imogen. I just didn't give a fuck. They had the episode where Fiona got attacked in her apartment yet again. Fiona's been here for so long that whatever storyline they gave her, I just simply shut my brain off. I didn't give a shit. Other than that, other than those two characters I could think of with their storylines, there's not an episode in this season I did not like. I thought from beginning to end, this was a really strong season. Season 12 is really the turnaround season for Degrassi. No shit. And the reason why I say that is because this season did what none of the other seasons did before. They had a suicide storyline in here. That was really a turnaround for me because Cam was one of the best characters in the Degrassi universe. And for Dylan, the guy who played Cam, to only have one season, he acted his ass off. Like, boy, you better act. Boy, you better fucking act. Cam has some of the best scenes in season 12. Some of the best scenes in season 12. Like, no shit. Whenever Cam was like having an emotional moment, sometimes I cried. Like, he had some scenes that were really intense. He had some scenes that were very emotional. Cam was a really good character. I loved him and Maya's relationship. Absolutely loved it. I love the back and forth between Maya and Zig. Damn, I love the Dave and Allie storyline. I love the Drew and Bianca and Katie shit in the beginning. Drew and Bianca get engaged this season. Drew drops out of high school. Claire gets sexually harassed in this season. Eli doesn't really do too much this season. He just really focusing on school and shit. Um, he didn't really get anything up until Cam like committed suicide and he saw his body. Like, them episodes after Cam committed suicide are some of the greatest episodes to ever be written and directed. Hands down. The guy who played Dallas acted his ass off. Period. Literally acted his ass off. Now there was some storylines in here I didn't give a fuck about. I didn't care about Dallas being a teenager dad. I didn't care about Connor being in a relationship with Jenna. That kind of happened out of nowhere. Let's see. Let's see. What else happened in this season? I didn't care about Casey's dad getting out of prison. I didn't care about Casey visiting him and Jenna's son because they kind of just said, fuck that. They did that storyline a season late. Like, they did that storyline as he was finna leave the show. That was retarded, so therefore I didn't give a shit. I didn't care about Jake and Katie's relationship. Ellie and Dave broke up in this season, which really pissed me off. And then she just hopped back into another relationship. I guess her and Dallas were trying to be something. I don't know what they were trying to be. I really didn't give a shit. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I really didn't care what they were trying to make her and Dallas be. I didn't give a fuck. I really enjoyed the storyline between Adam and Becky. I'm not going to lie. This season had a lot of shit I liked more than I disliked. And like I said, not a lot of, it wasn't really, oh, Drew and Bianca get engaged and they were finna get married in Vegas. Like I said, Drew dropped out of high school, but he ended up coming back. Like, this season had a lot of good episodes, not gonna lie. Did I mention that Claire got sexually harassed? Like, this season was really at its best when it came to drama. Like, so good. Like, ugh. This season right here was really the turnaround for Degrassi. No cap. Season 12 for Degrassi was really the turnaround for Degrassi. Like, this is one of them seasons from season 10 through 14. I could watch this season without having to watch season 10, 11, or 13 or 14. I could watch season 12. Season 12 is really it's a bad bitch. It's one of the baddest seasons to ever be written. I cannot believe. This is one of their good ass seasons. No cap. I love a lot of things about the season more than I hate. Because they did more than just relationship drama. I just gave y'all reasons why this season was so good. It wasn't just relationship shit. It was more than that. It had a lot of good episodes too. I don't know. On to season 13. A lot of people prefer season 14 over season 13. I don't. Season 14 sucks. I'm going to just go ahead and talk about it now before I talk about season 13. Season 14 absolutely sucks. It's just really bad. Like, there's nothing good for me to say about season 14. The entire season sucks. Everything about it sucks. Everything sucks. Everything is bad in that season. I have a whole video on why season 14 sucks. I would never rewatch that season. I would never like that season. Short and sweet. That season sucks. And if you think I'm lying, watch it for yourself. That season had 28 episodes, yet it feel like they had 45. Simple as that. Short and sweet. That season it's just terrible. is not good in any shape or form. As far as season 13 is concerned, a lot of people prefer season 14 over season 13. I don't. Season 13 to me really gets good as it hit the second half for me. That shit with the Paris episodes really slowed the season down. I could have did it without that. Them Paris episodes were boring as shit. Allie falls in love with this guy she met in Paris. Allie is just so dumb. Like, she's so stupid. So let me get this straight, and this is what's so funny to me about her parents. Her parents had a problem with her dating niggas her own age, but yet she can bring back some guy that she don't know from fucking France, and y'all are okay with her dating this older man? Like, how old was Leo? How old was he? And Allie always blow me when she try to make it seem like that Jenna and Claire were being judgy, when honestly, bitch, you need to wake up. Why the fuck did this guy who you did not... Allie never told this nigga where school she went to, so he had to look her up. He literally followed you from France to Toronto, Canada. And that's not weird. Girl, you just stupid. Ellie's just stupid. And that whole domestic violence relationship between her and Leo, it was written terrible. Like, I didn't like it. It was written so terrible. Adam dies in this season, which was just terrible. I mean, they didn't do shit with Adam anyway, so I really wasn't surprised that they chose his character out of everyone to go. I get it. They was trying to teach us an important storyline in this season. Don't text and drive. I get that. That might be the only important storyline they did in this season, because this season, the only drama you really got was, no, I'm capping, the Adam dying from texting and driving. They had Zoe got sexually assaulted and Claire caught cancer. Them to me were like the main important storylines they did that didn't involve relationships. But other than that, every other storyline in here that you really got had to do with something that was in a relationship, like Drew and Zoe, the Claire shit with Drew and Eli. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Even though this was a love triangle nobody really wanted, I thought this love triangle was iconic. I thought they did this love triangle what I felt like the Drew, Katie, and Bianca love triangle was supposed to be. The back and forth between Miles and Maya, and the love triangle between Miles, Maya, and Zig was it's one of the best storylines ever in Degrassi. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That storyline gave what it needed to give. Like, the back and forth was so crazy. I enjoyed the back and forth action between Zig, Maya, and Miles. It gave what it needed to give. We also get introduced to Miles this season. Miles is one of my favorite characters. Like, his character was just so good and so interesting in just this first season. We also get introduced to Zoe. I don't really care about Zoe, to be honest. I didn't start caring about her character up until next class. And even in next class, they didn't really do a lot of important storylines either. All them storylines for real was really like relationship based for real. The only important storylines I could really think of that they did in next class was the depression storyline for Maya and the drug addiction storyline for Miles. And no, that's it. And yeah, that's it. In next class, that's it. As far as season 13 goes, season 13 was also a really good season. I liked it. I like what we got. Like I said, the first half was pretty boring, but once we got into that second half, it was great. And then them episodes at the end, the little finales they did, they were kind of random. Like, Drew and Becky are a couple. Claire is pregnant. They did some shit in this season I didn't like. I'm not gonna cap. Like, the Claire and Drew shit, yeah, it was messy and it was drama, but I didn't care for it. Like, I'm gonna talk about that in my double standard video. But yeah, I just ran down the seasons for y'all, and am I not wrong? Some of the drama we really got from this era was really just relationship shit. Like, we didn't really get a lot of like storylines that revolved around just individual characters getting their own storylines. Like, I don't know why this era with season 10 through 14 was so obsessed with just drama, like just relationships being the only drama we get, and that really pisses me off. Y'all can have your own opinions. I don't think season 10 through 14, well, season 14 sucks. I don't think that era is all that bad, but I do think y'all overhype it because um I think y'all overhype it because some fans haven't watched it. But as far as season 10 is, it's definitely overhyped. Because season 12 and 13 are really the turnaround seasons for Degrassi. But that's all for this video. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one.